You do not lack results because you lack ability. You lack results because your creativity arrives like a storm without roads, and nobody taught you how to build roads. Inside weather this powerful. It begins the same way every time. A spark, sudden and consuming. An idea grips you so fast it feels like fate. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts accelerate. Everything else fades into background noise. You feel alive again. Hours disappear. Sleep feels optional. Hunger becomes distant. Your mind locks into hyperfocus, pulling patterns together with ruthless speed. This is not distraction. This is precision turned inward. Then it collapses. Energy drains overnight. The same idea that felt destined now feels heavy. Motivation evaporates. Shame rushes in to finish the job. You stare at unfinished work, like evidence of a personal failure. The cycle is not random. It is misunderstood power. There is a memory of a childhood obsession, a project, a skill, something you disappeared into completely. Adults praised your intensity until it disrupted schedules. Then concern replaced encouragement. You learned that depth was dangerous. You did not learn how to finish. You learned how to stop. That lesson followed you. New ideas ignited bridges behind you. Old commitments burned quietly. People stopped trusting your momentum. Underestimation settled in like fog. They said you were unreliable. You believed them. But creativity was never the problem. Translation was. Your brain generates vision faster than systems can handle. You see outcomes before steps exist. You sense solutions before language forms. That gap between vision and execution becomes frustration. There is a scene you remember clearly. Late night. Desk cluttered. Notes everywhere. You felt close to something important, but could not organize it fast enough. The room felt broken. You felt broken. You were not broken. The container was. ADHD creativity is explosive by nature. It is designed for discovery, not maintenance. When forced into linear processes, it rebels or collapses. That does not make it useless. It makes it specialized. The psychological break arrives when effort stops working. When pushing harder only deepens exhaustion. When even self-criticism loses energy. That emptiness feels like failure. It is actually the doorway. In that stillness, a question emerges. What if results require partnership with your mind instead of domination? What if discipline must be redesigned, not imposed? This is where rebuilding begins. The first transformation is containment. You stop expecting ideas to organize themselves. You capture everything immediately. Notes, sketches, voice fragments. You respect the speed of thought. You build external memories so nothing important evaporates. There is a flashback of writing ideas on scraps, afraid sleep would erase them. Now you build systems that welcome that urgency. Panic fades. Clarity grows. The second transformation is sequencing. You stop trying to build everything at once. You break vision into visible steps. Not perfect plans, just next actions. Momentum replaces overwhelm. A memory returns of staring at a massive goal and freezing completely. This time, you take one small step without drama. Movement dissolves paralysis. The third transformation is energy discipline. You stop treating intensity like proof of worth. You schedule rest intentionally. You protect recovery. You learn that sustainability creates more output than obsession ever did. There is a scene of burning out after a breakthrough. Praise everywhere. Exhaustion underneath. You smiled while breaking. Now you stop earlier. You save strength. Control feels unfamiliar, then empowering. Emotion still runs deep. Sensitivity remains. That becomes guidance instead of sabotage. You sense when energy dips. You adjust without guilt. Shame loses leverage. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are built different. Comparison still whispers. Others progress steadily. You surge, pause, surge again. You stop measuring yourself by their timelines. Depth moves differently than speed. A lonely walk returns to memory. Cold air. Head heavy. You realized movement restored clarity faster than rumination. That lesson becomes regulation. Results begin appearing quietly, not dramatic. Consistent. You finish more because you stop demanding perfection. You shift. You refine. You continue. Underestimation persists. People remember old patterns. Let them. Surprise remains leverage. You build without announcement. Your creativity starts trusting you again. Ideas arrive calmer, because they know you can carry them to completion. The storm learns structure. This is not motivation. This is architecture. Turning ADHD creativity into real results does not require less imagination. It requires form strong enough to hold it, and that form is only beginning to take shape. The structure holds now, but pressure tests it. This is where most systems fail, not from weakness, but from scale. Your creativity starts producing results, and results demand consistency. Consistency demands identity change. You feel the tension immediately. Part of you misses the chaos, the rush, the ride, the mission. Control feels slower, quieter, almost dull. That dullness scares you because you confuse intensity with aliveness. There is a memory of standing in a doorway after finishing something important. No celebration. No fireworks. Just silence. You felt empty instead of victorious. That emptiness almost pulled you back toward obsession again. This is the trap. Your nervous system was trained on extremes, high or collapse, fire or ash. Sustainable progress feels unfamiliar, so your mind tries to sabotage it by chasing stimulation. This is where discipline becomes psychological warfare. The first refinement strategy is boredom tolerance. You train yourself to stay present when nothing dramatic is happening. You continue working when the dopamine drops. You sit inside discomfort, without escaping. There is a scene of you staring at a screen, restless, wanting to abandon the project that no longer excites you. You breathe, you stay, you complete one small task anyway. Something shifts. Respect replaces thrill. The second refinement strategy is identity anchoring. You stop identifying as someone who only works when inspired. You become someone who finishes. This is not motivational. It is existential. A flashback surfaces of being called unreliable. You carried that label like a brand. Now you act in opposition quietly. Each completed task rewrites memory. Confidence stabilizes. The third refinement strategy is rhythm control. You stop sprinting until collapse. You work in waves. Focus, recover, repeat. You design your life around energy instead of hours. There is a memory of collapsing after a productive week, unable to move for days. That pattern ends here. You exit early. You recover intentionally. You return sharper. Emotional intensity still surges. You do not suppress it. You channel it. Frustration becomes structure. Anger becomes boundary. Sensitivity becomes precision. Comparison resurfaces occasionally. Others seem to move faster. You remind yourself that speed without depth breaks eventually. You are building something heavier. Underestimation still exists. People wait for you to fall back into old patterns. You do not announce growth. You demonstrate it through repetition. Your environment changes. Fewer inputs, clear priorities, tools prepared, friction removed. You respect how easily attention bleeds. There is a memory of a broken room. Tools everywhere. Nothing finished. That room reorganizes slowly. Clear surfaces. Chosen instruments. Creativity breathes easier here. Pressure increases again. More responsibility. More eyes. Old habits. Test the edges. You notice them early now. You intervene. This is where results come. Not dramatically. Inevitably. Your mind starts trusting itself. Ideas arrive less frantically, because they know they will be handled. Hyperfocus becomes cooperative instead of hijacking. You stop burning bridges. You stop promising during high. You stop apologizing during lows. Your baseline stabilizes. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You are built different. Different enough to require custom systems. Strong enough to maintain them. Disciplined enough to refine them. The storm inside you is no longer wild. It is organized weather. And the final phase will demand ownership of that power. Now ownership arrives, heavier than inspiration, quieter than obsession, and far more dangerous than chaos ever was. This is where ADHD creativity stops being something you manage and becomes something you command. You feel the difference immediately. The urge to overextend fades. The need to prove evaporates. You no longer chase the spark. You summon it. There is a vision that repeats now. Early morning. No noise. No urgency. You sit with a plan, and the patience to execute it. The same mind that once exploded with ideas, now waits, coiled, ready. This is mastery. You still think fast. You still see patterns others miss. You still feel deeply. What changed is direction. Every surge has a channel. Every idea has a container. Every burst has a recovery built in. There is a memory of a cracked crown you once wore. You believed leadership was impossible for someone who burned out so often. That crown reshapes now, not ornate, solid, earned through self-command. Your creativity now produces outcomes reliably, not perfectly, reliably. You finish what matters. You let go of what does not. This discernment saves energy and multiplies impact. People notice the shift. You seem calmer, sharper, more grounded. You speak less and deliver more. Presence carries weight. Underestimation still lingers. Let it. Surprise remains. Leverage. You do not broadcast discipline. You demonstrate it. Emotion becomes intelligence. Anger draws boundaries. Sensitivity reads risk. Empathy guides timing. You trust these signals because you verified them through action and restraint. There is a flashback of burning out after success. Applause outside, collapse inside. That cycle ends here. You design your life to survive your best days. Rest is no longer collapse. It is protocol. Time blindness still exists. It no longer betrays you. Systems catch slips. Buffers absorb error. You recover quickly and move on. Self-trust grows. Because self-abandonment ended, comparison disappears completely. Alignment replaces ranking. You measure progress by clarity and consequence, not noise. This internal compass never lies. Your work carries signature now. People recognize it without explanation. Originality becomes unavoidable when nonlinear intelligence is disciplined instead of shamed. Pressure becomes familiar weather. You prepare. Habits carry you through chaos. Others search for motivation. You rely on structure. There is a memory of standing inside a storm, soaked and shaking, unsure if you could endure another cycle. You stand above that storm now, watching it move, deciding when to enter. This is sovereignty. You understand the truth fully now. ADHD obsession was never the enemy. Burnout was never proof of failure. Both were signals of power without guidance. Once guided, that power becomes rare. You are not broken. You are not lazy. You were built different. Different enough to imagine. Strong enough to discipline imagination. Wise enough to pace it. Brave enough to finish. The world needs minds like yours. When systems fail, when certainty collapses, when innovation must move faster than fear. You have lived there long enough to lead there. Your chaos was never random. It was untrained strength. Now it answers to wisdom. Stand steady inside that truth. Protect your fire. Use it deliberately. Let obsession serve creation, not consume you. Subscribe for the next chapter.